Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Daily Vibe. So, just wanted to show you that really cool looking orb weaver over there that's hanging out.
Hey.
Orb weaver's hanging out doing its thing. So, we're up here on the deck again because it's raining.
Yeah, it's sprinkling right now.
But it's going to be pouring really, really soon.
Yeah, I just looked at the weather and it says in like 15 minutes the rain's gonna really start coming.
Yep. So, it's a good thing. We always need the rain. But, you know, it's kind of a bummer when you want to work outside and get things done and you can't. But that's just the nature of the beast.
It is. I mean,
that's how it is.
It's Mother Nature for you.
It is Mother Nature.
Yeah, she's just got something different in mind for us today.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's okay.
There's another orb weaver right over here by the dogs. They're all hanging out, but I don't know if I'm pointing, but on the back of that railing over here, up in the corner, it was hanging out, doing its thing last night. We were feeding it bugs and stuff.
Yeah, I usually try to throw bugs in there. I couldn't find any like moss or anything yesterday.
No, that's all right though.
Throw in there, but
no, Roxanne found a stick bug though. The poor stick bug. I like stick bugs. And I was all, no, don't throw the stick bug in there.
Yeah, I threw it in there. I didn't honestly think it would try to eat it, but it did. It took it and wrapped it up and everything.
So, man, I got food for weeks. Big old giant stick bug.
That's probably why they're so big around here, those orb weavers.
We feed them.
Yeah, we keep feeding them all the time.
We let them hang out. I don't mind. I mean, I'm not a huge, gigantic fan of spiders. But those orb weavers, they don't do nothing.
Nah, they're cool.
They just look really cool.
Yeah, and then in like around evening time, like right when the sun's coming down, they come out. And you'll see them like making their webs and stuff. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool to watch them.
I've tried to film them making their webs, but it's very hard.
Yeah, I think...
it's always dark.
Yeah, wasn't it a couple years ago over at camp when we were over there
I got one.
Yeah, we did record one making a nest like, on the trailers.
It took its sweet time though, even though I was time-lapsing it, so you can see it like go brrrr, all fast.
Yeah, it took a while.
I didn't get all of it, and then the camera got bumped without me knowing it. And so it moved the camera frame, but I don't know, it was cool. I've been trying to get some cool stuff like that. It's hard though.
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult. But we were watching the news. I know this happened a couple days ago. Vegas.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 days ago.
It's like what's wrong with people nowadays?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like this is something new. It is new, but you guys get what I'm saying. People are mean. But have you guys seen on the news that those kids, 17-year-olds, that's all they say because they're minors, so they won't say their names or nothing yet.
Yeah, yeah.
But how many people was it? Like 3 people?
3.
So they're running around intentionally running over, like, people.
Yeah, in a stolen vehicle.
In stolen vehicles. So,
yeah.
And one of the guys that they ran over was a retired police officer in North Vegas.
Yeah, hit and runs too.
Yeah, and they're doing it on purpose. Like the guy was sitting there riding his bike, doing his thing in the morning. The retired cop, and they're filming it. The kids are filming it. They're in the car laughing about it, and like they swerve over and run the dude over and take off. It's like, what the heck is going on in this world?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Like, seriously. And we were talking, you guys know we're originally from Vegas, and Roxanne was saying, like, every time that she hears anything on the news, because we do follow, like, I follow especially like the news that's going on in Vegas, just because, I just like to know what's going on in my old town and stuff.
Yeah, I don't like constantly.
I got friends
look on
there,
I just sometimes will briefly look through just to see.
Yeah, no, I'm not like every day checking out what's going on, but I have like the Fox 5 app and all the other apps for like the news, the local news in Vegas.
Yeah.
The local stuff, not the national stuff. And so I have that and I see what's going on. But all this stuff that's going on in Vegas is always North Vegas.
Yeah.
Is what I was getting at. And North Vegas, if you guys don't know, that's the older kind of bad area of Vegas. If you have to say what's good and bad, right?
Yeah,
I'm not saying everywhere is bad up there or everybody's bad. I'm just saying if you look at the cities, like, don't go to Southside Chicago, don't go to the South Side. That's the bad area.
Yeah, that's the wrong side of the
Don't go to the Bronx. Don't go to, Miami. Don't go. You guys get what I'm saying, right? But North Vegas is the bad area of Vegas.
Yeah.
North and like northeast is pretty bad, and like deep east side. And I know all around Vegas because, like every job I've had there almost, I traveled.
Yeah. Well, you were all over the place. Me, I just had my little bubble. So.
Yeah, Roxanne knew where we lived was the southeast, right? She knew her little tiny 2 square miles, and that's about it.
Yeah, well, that's all I needed to know. I had my work, I had a grocery store, and I lived there.
Yeah, work, grocery store. We had the gym. We had all the restaurants right there.
Yeah,
like everything was right there. Wyatt School, daycare was there. Everything. I don't blame her. You never have to leave that little bubble. Me, I used to drive around, obviously, and for telecommunications, and before that, I used to work. I was an armored truck driver. I don't know if you guys knew that, and a messenger. So I used to go in and pick money up from the casinos and stuff.
Yep.
And so that job was hairy sometimes, right? Kind of freaky. But anyway, North Vegas. There's so much problems over there.
I know. It seems like
It's
a lot.
horrible.
A lot of things that happen. It's usually on the north side.
Yeah, not everything, but a lot.
Yeah.
And it's like with stuff like that, it makes me wonder. Is like, what the hell is going on with these kids as parents?
Well.
Right? Yeah. Seriously. What is going on? That's what I want to talk about today, because that stuff makes me so mad. It's like, what is going on with these kids' parents, their family, to make these kids, they're not even 18. Do this crap.
I mean, like, what would give them that idea, or even remotely, like, oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, that's funny. Like,
let's record it,
and record it and show everybody and think we're cool and we're gonna be a viral hit,
and
hit or something. It's like, no, dude.
In Vegas, I don't know how many years ago it was, but it's been a while. They recently passed a law there for the hit and runs.
Oh, yeah.
Because Vegas was having a really big problem with hit and runs. People were running people over and they just leave. People were crashing their cars and leaving. So they did something that it's like...
I know what it is.
Yeah, then you explain.
I totally forgot about that, yeah.
Yeah.
But to re-elaborate really quick, what she's talking about, it was mainly meant for accidents, like car accidents, right? Like,
because Vegas had a big problem with hit and runs.
Giant, because of all the tourists.
Yeah,
okay?
and just pedestrians, right?
And pedestrians. And so what was happening before the law, and don't quote me on it, but basically it was if you have an accident and you leave the scene, right? I T-bone Roxanne's car and mine's still running and I leave.
Yeah, you bounce.
I leave.
Yeah.
Basically, if they can't find you, like nothing happens.
Yeah,
if they do find you later on, it was just like a slap on the wrist, a little misdemeanor kind of thing. No big deal.
Yeah.
Well, it was so bad. Like, people get in accidents and they leave, and insurance companies and locals and different things are getting fed up with it over the years and years and years. And so they change it to where it's a felony with a mandatory 10-year sentence.
Oh, is that what the punishment is for? I knew it was something like...
a mandatory.
Yeah, very, very harsh, because...
if I'm not mistaken, I'm almost 100% sure it was 10 years. So...
I was going to say, do you remember maybe like 5 years ago that one lady that had her son in the car and she was running people over all over the strip?
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah, she was like, she had her kid in the car. It was a baby, like maybe like a 3-year-old or something like that.
I remember that.
She had it and she was running up and down the strip, just running people over up and down the strip and stuff.
I know, I remember. That's crazy. Yeah. Vegas is crazy, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of hit and runs around there.
There is.
One, it's because there's so many pedestrians there because it's a touristy town, right?
Yeah.
So, and, sometimes, yes, they'll get hit in crosswalks and stuff like that, but a lot of tourists, like on the strip and stuff, they'll be jaywalking.
Oh, yeah.
And tourists, they don't care. They just will cross. I mean, if you're stuck on the strip, sometimes you're stuck there just because people are crossing the road just nonstop. They just keep going and going and going. They don't even stop.
Yeah, and you're driving on Las Vegas Boulevard, trying to drive down a 4-lane road.
Yeah.
Or 3-lane. Trying to get down, you can't because everybody's drinking too much and having a good time in Vegas, right? And they're just, like she's saying, they're just jaywalking. Right down the middle of the strip, like you guys see on movies. A big giant strip, right? People just walking across all the time. That's the stuff they don't tell you. But can you believe that? I'm not mistaken. It's an automatic felony and 10 years in prison.
Well, then
if you leave the scene of an accident. And right when that was implemented, there were some people that left right away. They didn't know that the new law came into effect, and
they got in trouble.
Off to prison they went.
These kids that did all that,
I think they're targeting people.
Well, I think
Law enforcement.
Yeah, I think they're in for some serious time, and it's sad. They're young,
and they should be. My personal opinion, I don't care if you're 17, if you're driving, you know what you're doing. Especially in these guys, they're laughing about it, and it's 100% intentional.
Yeah,
right? It's 100%.
It was a game.
They know what they're doing. I'm sorry, you need to go to jail.
Yeah.
If you do that and ruin people's lives.
And think it's fun.
And think it's funny.
Yeah.
You need to go rot.
Yeah, you need to get off.
You need to rot. You don't deserve to be out with all these benefits and everything that this country provides when you do that to somebody. That's my opinion. That's really what I think. I just don't know what is going on with people nowadays. I don't know what's wrong with people, man. Yeah. I don't get it.
We're in some
Do you guys think it's social media? Right? Do you guys? No, I'm serious. Right? Think about it.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys think it's social media, the influence of that kind of stuff on these kids? Do you think it's
video games?
Video games? I don't think it's video games, but teach their own. Think what you want.
Combination of all of it.
Right.
Social media.
Do you think it's a lack of parenting?
Internet. Yeah. Well, I mean.
Parents that use their schools as babysitters.
Yeah, or internet as babysitters. Too.
Internet as babysitters.
You know.
There's so many different things, right? That's where I think a lot of older people, myself kind of included, right, in that, when they always reminisce on the good old days before the internet, when coming home when the street lights on, and my mama's gonna take her shoe off and whoop my butt, if I don't listen, and blah blah blah. Well, nowadays it's like impossible to be that same way. Like we were saying yesterday about the internet, right? You need it. Right?
I know. It's
kind of a thing, but
evil necessity.
Yeah, exactly. It comes with so many bad things at the same time, and so many good things. But oh no, I'm just doing a rant. I'm just rambling. Cause I seen that this morning. It made me so mad.
Well, yeah,
I was so mad.
That particular story made national news.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's where I first heard it. It wasn't on Fox News or anything for Vegas.
I heard about it yesterday, but I didn't know 100% of the extent of what was going on. I just seen a video and someone swerve over and hit somebody. I didn't know it was a retired police officer. I didn't know they did it more than once. I had no idea. And then this morning, it's back on there, and it's all over the national news.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the heck is going on around here?
What they were talking about this morning was that it was, they talked about the retired police officer on his bike, and then they said there was 2 more victims.
I mean, how messed? That's so messed up. You're retired, you work your whole life as a police officer or a firefighter or a construction worker, whatever.
Yeah.
You're retired.
Yeah.
Right? You made it.
Yeah.
You made it.
Yeah, you worked your entire life.
And you're like, hey, I'm going to keep my health up. And this guy he was riding his bike, I'm sure for, he's a retired police officer.
Yeah.
He likes riding his bike probably for health reasons,
Yeah.
To get a workout and stuff like that.
Just cruising around,
and all of a sudden you get ran over.
It's terrible.
In the morning, you're probably like,
It's terrible.
It's horrible.
It's terrible.
It's horrible. So I have no sympathy for when they throw the book at people like that, and they should.
Yeah, it wasn't even. It would have been different if it was like an accident, in a sense, right? Like
no, that's an accident.
Yeah, but these kids, they were intentionally running people over, which makes it like a million times worse.
All I gotta say, Nevada, your DA office and all that stuff over there, man, you guys need to throw the book. Okay, grab the big stick and start swinging, because I've said this before too. When I was in college, real long story short, honestly, right? 'Cause I can go down a rabbit hole and this kind of stuff.
I know, yeah.
But I won't. But no, when I was in college, we had to do when I was in criminal justice, we had to do a whole thing on like crimes and punishments and what you think. It was like an essay kind of a thing, a topic, a think tank. And me personally, I don't think punishments are strict enough in this country. Me personally.
Yeah.
Right? That's just me, myself, and I. Because imagine if you knew for a 100% fact, and there's no way out of it, you had to pay $1,000 for every 1 mile an hour over the speeding limit on a speeding ticket. That seems ridiculous, right? Yeah, that's a lot of money. You're doing 5 miles an hour over, $5,000. How many people do you think would speed? At first, if they just implemented it a lot. But then eventually, I ain't speeding. I ain't speeding because it ain't worth it. I ain't doing it. Right? One thing in Nevada too, when I first moved there, and I don't know why, it's not as bad in California, at least during that time. Like school zones. Bless you, babe. School zones, obviously, 25 miles an hour, 10 miles, 15, whatever the case may be. In California, I never really paid attention too much. I wouldn't be doing like 50 or nothing. It's that pollen season. But the second I moved to Vegas, the first thing driving around I was told was like, look, man, when you're in a school zone around here, the cops around here, they don't play.
Oh, no, not in school zones.
They do not play. I mean, they don't care if you're doing 1 mile an hour over. They are going to pull you over, and you're going to get a fat, gigantic ticket. It's like 3 times the amount.
Yeah, which is, I think.
I agree with.
Yeah, I gotta.
Got sneeze again? And I seen it firsthand in Nevada school zones. People doing.
Oh yeah,
they're 15. You'll be doing 20 or 18. Cops pulling them over. Because over there, the cops they'll have cops stationed in a sense at school zones all over the city.
Yeah, they have them come. Well, they have crossing guards too.
Yeah, and they rat people out.
Yeah, well, they help kind of mitigate some of the speeding, and I'm sure they do. Sometimes will catch people's license plates and stuff as they're driving by if they're speeding through there. But they do. I've seen them. I've seen them in a 15 mile an hour school zone, probably doing 45.
Yeah. Well, that's ridiculous. That's you gotta keep,
I've seen it though.
No, I have too. What I'm trying to get at though is because that's so prevalent and the cops don't mess around and they ain't playing and they pull people over, they double the fines or triple the fines depending
in a school zone.
And the punishment is so steep for that. Guess what? Majority of people don't mess around.
No,
in school zones. They are slow.
You can usually tell the actual people that are in Nevada and have been in Nevada for a long time versus the people that like just recently moved there.
Oh yeah, because they're the ones that are going by 25 mile an hour.
Oh, it's 15 miles an hour.
I'll do 20. I'll do 20,
you know?
And it'll be fine, and it ain't fine. So
now you get a ticket, and instead of being $100 ticket, now
it's $300, whatever. It's steep. But anyway, that's all I was getting at. If people knew that punishments were so steep, I think people would stop doing things. It's just craziness. So
well, I wouldn't say it eliminate it all, but I mean, look at the hit and run.
No, not eliminate. Make it steep. Like.
No, I'm saying if it's more harsh.
Oh no, it wouldn't.
Eliminate.
Oh no, no.
I'm saying.
Yeah, no, it won't. It wouldn't.
Yeah, it would slow it down because people are still going to do what they're going to do.
Well, with that's just whoever those are. They're horrible, rotten people. So.
Yeah.
But like.
What's that good old saying? Don't do the crime, can't do the time.
That's right. But imagine the time was 20 years.
Yeah, well, still.
Well, that's probably going to get life, but regardless, I don't know.
At least 30.
That was just a little rant for me today, guys, because that made me so mad this morning seeing that. I was so upset.
Pretty upsetting to see all that going on.
It's upsetting that the world is becoming this way.
Yeah.
It's, as you guys, maybe you agree, disagree, I mean, whatever my opinion is, over the past my lifetime, I can see it getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
No.
Like, and I don't think I'm mistaken on that. No. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, it's raining.
Yeah, I mean, it's sprinkling, but I bet you, like, right after we get done, it's going to pour.
It's supposed to... It's supposed to dump on us today. Well, big time.
Yeah, real quick, if you notice, there's no birds chirping right now.
No, they're all hiding.
They're all hiding, so that means the rain's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, you guys have a great day today.
Yes, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Stay safe.
Yep.
Stay motivated, guys.
Yes, absolutely.
And we'll catch you guys all tomorrow. Bye.